Okay.
This man has been up all night. How do you feel, sir?
That one script, my first script ever, it was called The Four Horsemen, it'll never see the light of day, took my life by storm. It was one of the best things ever to ever happen to me, and that's what really kickstarted my life as a writer. My first film group was in high school. It was with my friend Trey. And now I don't remember the piece because I've been on a lot of sets now. And that's way back when. I remember I was playing an act. I was an actor on the set, and I had fun with the acting, but I didn't take acting serious until I was in college. And that was because a professor, when I took a writing class, he hit me with the most simple logic ever. If you want to be a good writer, you have to be a good actor, because they have to believe the dialogue. And if you can't push the dialogue that you're saying yourself, then how can you tell anyone else to do it? My mom was a huge motivator. She was really good at motivating me. We used to go back and forth because I am a talker. So I defeat myself sometimes. That's why I often say confidence is key. It's something that I struggle with too. And I defeat myself sometimes. And she was good at reverse psychology. Instead of cheering me up, she would be like, "You're right, you can't do it." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she was like, "Yeah, it's impossible. No one could do it." And I'm like, "I could do it. I mean, like, I could definitely do it." And then she would be like, "I mean, you have to prove it. Everything, it's only results." And that was a huge motivator. But now I do it for me. I do it because I have fun doing it. And it's one of the more pure funs I have is when I'm writing or when I'm on set in front of cameras and stuff like that. Like, I laugh and I joke because I'm having a blast. The group that brought out the best writing for me individually would be Iron Arc. I like how in Iron Arc we have 3 people who come into it. It's Jake, Keith, and I. And we go in the room and we sit down and we really like to think about and articulate each possible way that we can do things. We like to attack things from different ways. We all have our different mindset. I think Keith is very feel-based and Jake is very logic-based. And I'm like a very good mediator of the two. Or sometimes it's me and Jake, and then Keith's a good mediator of the two. Or sometimes it's me and Keith, and then Jake's a good mediator of the two. When having 3 people in the room, I find that it takes out the idea of too many cooks in the kitchen. I never try to hinder someone's creativity. I hear what you have, and I throw it back at you faster. Like, I just like doubling it. I will gas you up. I will, like, if your idea was, okay, 2 people go take a car ride, and I'm like, but what if one of one has cancer? Yes, and. Like, even in improv, that taught me, do yes and. Yes and never makes the idea worse. Yes and will always make the idea more intense. I had a lot of fun making Charge. I had a lot of fun making Charge because Charge, of all the films that I've ever made, gave me the most trouble.
Shut up and take care of the cameras.
I think we should go.
I said take care of the cameras.
And it gave me the most teaching ability because I started to really learn a lot of experiences from Charge. So it'll probably be Charge that you find on Iron Arc. My biggest mistake of when I first started was thinking I thought enough and I'm just gonna write. For me, I like to have bylaws. And what I mean by bylaws is think about not just the character, but the world. What world are they in? Is it like our world? Can they fly? What are the physics of their world? And then, like, after I got the worldly view, then I go into them. What parts are we not showing on camera? And, like, honestly, you have to start thinking about sociology. And if you want to take sociology as a writer, I would definitely tell you to, because you get to study people and then it makes people seem more real when you write them down. Or me personally, I just have a lot of experience with a lot of different people. So I can draw from, oh, this character's like my uncle. Oh, this character's like my aunt. Or, oh, this character reminds me of my sister. And I can draw from that and I could expand on that.
He goes by Gray.
So it was Gray's idea.
Yes. Yes, it was Gray's idea.
Would you say that he was the one in control of the relationship?
When I was in high school, I was very much so depressed. I was the kid in the basement who never really went out of his room and stuff like that. I was super depressed. And then an artist named Kid Cudi came into my life, and he let me know that I'm not the first person to feel this way. And I felt in my heart that I didn't belong to a group. I didn't belong to anybody. And then he came around and he was kind of like, we went through the same thing, man. You're not alone. And I was very weak at that time. And I wanna really do that for someone like me in my scenario. I wanna be that Kid Cudi. I wanna be able to help you up when you're really down. And I want you to understand that you're not the only person who went through these issues. These issues happen all the time, and you are loved. You just have to look around, and and if no one else says they love you, I'll say I love you. If no one else is reaching their hand out, I'll reach my hand out. I think younger me would be impressed with who I'm becoming, and the knowledge and the stride that I made. Because younger me was very much so, or rather when I was in my prime of writing, I've written over 90 scripts by now. Prime me used to stay in the room just write. But we had no way of producing. And now I'm producing. I'm not only writing, I've built that family. I've built that film family where I can produce now.
Or
Why haven't you done that already? I trusted you to have a handle on this, and now you're gonna tell me you could have been doing more this entire time?
It's hard to juggle work and school. I'm doing my best.
Your best isn't good enough!
And then I would tell them, like, always stay hungry, always hustle, always want more. Like, when you finally get the accomplishment you want another accomplishment, get something else, stay hungry, be humbled by experiences, and love that people will give you the opportunity for experiences, but always want more, always want to be number one.